Oh, hey. No, but hey guys. I'm just like doing my lashes right now. I had bought like a pack from Amazon, and like it's like a 3 pack. I thought it came with like its own glue, but no. So I went and got like an adhesive from the beauty supply store. But nonetheless, I'll be talking to you guys about a topic that just came, to mind, and hopefully it helps someone, anyone, me, whoever, right? Okay, so I was watching a video of some guy. He was explaining how he's so frustrated because, women are not traditional women anymore, and how he wants a traditional wife, but he doesn't want to run errands. Like, he's just tired of it. He just wants to bring the bacon home, yada, 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 right? And here are my thoughts on that. It is like really hard to find like traditional anything these days, because the fact of the matter is that we are just not a traditional based generation, you know? Um, we also have a lot more, how do you say that? Resources, you know? We are equipped with a lot more than people had back in the day. So a lot of people could really make it on their own, you know, and live and thrive and survive, at least survive, even if they're not thriving. So a lot of people really choose to be super selfish, and that's just the case, you know. A lot of people feel like, they don't need a girlfriend, they don't need a boyfriend, they don't need a husband, they don't need a wife, they can do it on their own. And the fact of the matter is that we aren't built that way. We are literally built to need one another, you know. I don't think that it genuinely means that, we the woman is supposed to do this and the woman is supposed to do that. I mean, granted, it worked that way for a very long time, but let's also talk about how much people had to sit through abuse and a lot of other things. Like, a lot of people were in abusive relationships back in the day, because a lot of women couldn't, you know, even open a bank account without being married, and that's why a lot of people were married, because a lot of it, you had to be back then. And that's what people don't understand, is that it's not super required these days, and it doesn't seem as important to this generation, and that's why people don't care. That's why people don't care. And it's sad, you know? I just, I'm more of a like a realistic kind of person. So I do like the idea of traditional wife, traditional husband, and I do want to be married one day. Um, and genuinely, just me personally, I like to cook. I like to clean up. I like what people would consider a genuine, like a feminine, like, how do you say that? Like a traditional woman, My mom is from Honduras, so that's how I was raised. I was raised to be more of like the wife, and take care of the home, yada yada yada. So that's just how I was raised. So I genuinely just started to, I can easily fit that mold. However, I don't agree with a lot of people's ideologies. Like, that doesn't mean I have to do that 24/7. That does not mean that I have to be the only one really taking care of the kids. It can be a 50-50 situation. The only thing that I can't lie that I don't agree with is the fact that, like, like I said, this is just me personally, that I wouldn't want to be the one paying the bills in the house. Like, I don't want to have to pay bills. So me personally, I wouldn't mind doing the laundry, cooking, cleaning, the kids is 50-50 though. Like, the caretaking is always going to be a 50-50 thing because these are our children. This is not my kid. So that's that. But as far as everything else goes, I don't mind. Like, I genuinely don't mind being the one that solely is always the one cooking, even though, the man can take up sometimes, and like, and vice versa. I'm not saying that my husband has to be the person who pays the bills all the time. Sometimes I could pop up and be like, babe, the bills are taken care of for the next like 3 months, or babe, I just booked us a vacation. One for the kid, with the kids, one without. You know what I mean? I feel like my ideology is a little bit different from a lot of others because there's a lot of give and take, and I pray that I don't put too much expectations on my future husband, and I pray that he doesn't put so much expectation on me because I don't want to let anyone down, and I don't want to be let down. And a lot of times we're let down because we just think people are superheroes. We think that people don't have bad days. We think that people don't have bad years. There are some people who suffer for years at a time, and you have to be strong enough for that, especially in marriage. Michelle Obama said she didn't like Obama for 10 years. 10 years. Do you know how long 10 years is to not like your husband and stay with him? Supporting him, loving him through his bad times, through the rough times, and all that. Do you know how hard that is? I don't know because I've never been married, but it sounds tough. It sounds tough. That does not sound easy, So we have to, like, you gotta just understand the give and take and all of that, and stop thinking that these days that it works out that way. This is another thing too, is that I really want to, like, bang into women's heads. Don't have more children than that you can actually take care of on your own. Because the fact of the matter is that there are so many married single women out here and that sit up on this internet and complain about how they don't get no help. They just gloat the fact that they're married. But you guys, I'm afraid because a lot of the successful marriages, even in like my own family, questionable. They were questionable. I wouldn't say that there was crazy infidelity. Like, it was something that would, like, someone that like one of my aunts or my mom or anyone had to, like, deal with growing up. My mom was actually married, but she was separated from her husband, which is my brother's dad. And so, she was a separated, married, single mama, right? But for the ones that were with their husbands active in the households, they were like, I could tell you that they were cool, but they weren't easy. And I can't sadly say, like, there was one marriage that I wish my marriage was like. So that speaks volumes. That speaks volumes. And I'm just being honest, none of the marriages I would want my future marriage to ever be like. Nope. I took a lot of advice from my aunts though that were married. Um, I took a lot of advice, and I'm still in my 20s. I'm pushing towards the 30 club. Um, and right now I'm just like really focused on like myself and graduating and like all my goals right now, and like just um getting sturdy in my career, getting sturdy in my overall life. Um just because genuinely, like, because I have a daughter and I'm by myself, um I have to like set up a table regardless whether a man does it for us or not. So, which sucks. Um and it sucks too because like I said, having kids, you shouldn't have more kids than you can really take care of on your own. And I know that if I don't ever get married, that I wouldn't have any more children. As much as I really, really want more kids, I want a lot of kids actually, but just because of the economy and because of just where the dating and marriages and stuff are headed, I just wouldn't, just to be safe. I wouldn't have more than probably like three, max five, but I probably wouldn't have more than three. And sometimes I think about too that like if I get married and I have a boy, I probably won't have any more kids. And me and my husband will just have our one, and then my daughter will be my husband's bonus kid, and that would just be that. He has a daughter and her. Sadly, her father's not like active in her life like at all. So, um, a man would help, but like I said, I wouldn't add anything to my plate. Like if it's just me and my daughter for the rest of our lives, that'll just be that. And I know that I'll be able to handle that. I'll be able to put my daughter in good schools, because I teach. So, and then like being, yeah, just knowing what I know, the things and the resources that I've learned, Nori will be all right. You know what I mean? So like, but I have to just be real with myself and saying that I wouldn't be able, like, my mental health, the type of person that I am, wanting to just get up and go sometimes and things of that sort. Like, one baby sat me down. I can't even fathom, you guys, having another kid and having to raise these two kids on my own. And I wouldn't care if the second child is like the father is active, but we're just not together. I will not settle for that. I will not settle for that. I'm almost even at the point where sometimes it's not a joke and I don't want to keep saying it out loud. But if God forbid me and my husband, my future husband, divorced and I had a boy, the boy will go with him. Because it's just, one, I don't want to have to raise a boy. I don't want to have to raise a son, especially in this time. And I know that the type of mom that I would be super active in my child's life. He would barely even notice that he doesn't live with me, because I would always pick him up. I'd always take him to his dad's house if it need be. I will always be at sports games. I could see myself being a super soccer mom. Like, I could see that. So my son won't ever feel like there's another woman that maybe his father moves on with that is just like more motherly than his own mother. I just would pray that I don't ever do nothing like that. But as far as like really have another child and have to take care of these kids by myself, I couldn't do it. My mental health really sometimes declines just having my daughter. And maybe it could be because I'm still like young, and the FOMO. And it's funny because it's like I'm 28 now. You know, I just freshly turned 28, and I had my daughter at 26. I was 25 when I got pregnant, and people think like, oh, well, that's just such a great age. And it's like, sweetie, no, it's not. I genuinely don't understand how people even had kids in their teens. And the crazy part about it is my friends who had their kids in their teens are thriving now. They're thriving so much. They have so much. They have houses, cars, all kinds of stuff. Just living way better. Way better. It's like children are blessings. People, like, children are blessings. I would never take that from them. They are blessings for sure. But man, is it hard sometimes. Like, so just don't have more. My advice, my piece of advice is just don't have more than what you can handle. Don't what's something that's good? Don't be a pushover. Don't let anyone just do whatever they want with you just for the sake of love. Because it's not really worth it. Like, and the fact of the matter is what you allow will continue. And you should, like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't settle. Like, let's be realistic here. People are always talking about you shouldn't settle, you shouldn't settle, you shouldn't settle. Sweetie, you're gonna have to settle at some point. You are going to have to settle at some point. Like, I don't care what anyone says. That is not realistic. That's not realistic advice to tell anybody. You're not about to sit here and tell me that you will pass up on your future husband or your future wife because they skinny and you like big girls. Like, she's perfect, but she's skinny. She's perfect, but she's brown skin. And people think this way. You will be super surprised. People think this way, and I need you guys to get more realistic with yourselves. And honestly, don't get into relationships that you don't know yourself. Y'all be out here just fumbling bags. And I can honestly say I am a bag that many men have fumbled. Like, for real. Like, dead serious. And guys that I've dated, like, they come around and stuff like that, and you know, I don't give it too much of the time of day because I realize, like, men really only come back just to see if you're stupid or you're still stupid, and it's not flattering. It's actually an insult. And so, yeah, like, I don't entertain it too much. Have I, like, spoken to guys that I've, like, talked to in the past? Yeah, but as far as, like, actually, like, deal with them, I just wouldn't, because it didn't work when you had your chance, you know? So what are we gonna keep, like, doing this? Like, why? That's like, you're not tired of that? You're not tired of me? I mean, I get it. Who would be tired of me? But let's also be realistic. I am human. Like, I don't have good days every single day. So that's just that. But I just think that the world honestly would be better if we just judged less. Judged with purpose, like real actual purpose, and not just opinion. Like, I need you guys to, your judgment to you know, be attached to real reasoning. Judge with purpose, you know. I'm over here just rambling, you guys, because that video was a lot. He was just blacking about wanting a traditional wife, and it's like, baby, You looking in the wrong generation, baby. And he looked like he was like 40. So it's like, bro, you had your time. And you probably just fumbled. Like, the sad part about it is that, like, what I see in men more than women, is men will really pass up on their wife just because they're young. Not realizing that you can still get married young and still live a good life. Like, what is wrong with just being married to one person and being successful with one person and just thriving in that manner? Like, what is actually wrong with that? The most successful men in this life are married men, because there is something about a stability and a unity that the Lord blesses. Like, y'all don't get it. Y'all not listening. And then we like, just think about the guys who don't. All the single guys, like, okay, you have all these women and stuff like that, but that gets tiring. It's empty. You know, I've dated. And imagine just like, even probably women who have, you know, experienced way more than I have and end up with nothing. And same with men. You end up with nothing, and then you're over here upset because you're by yourself, and because all your friends got kids and they married, and they got a spouse that they've been with for years, and they can't go out with you on Friday night because they baking cookies with the kids. And then you got to schedule your time with them. Like, but that's the reality. That it's like something about once you hit 25, like, yeah, of course I would love to still be outside. And the only reason why, you guys, I wish that I did not have my daughter at 26 is only because I didn't finish school and I didn't travel. I didn't travel as much. I've traveled in the States. Like, I've done a whole bunch of road trips. Like, I've lived my life in my 20s, I can actually say, you know, but I didn't travel the way I really wanted to travel. And I didn't graduate, you know. I actually, now I'm like scrambling, trying to make sure that I go into my 30s with decent credit, with diplomas, and my foot already in my career. You know what I mean? So that in my 30s, I can travel the way I couldn't travel in my 20s. You know? And I'm still going to be young. You know, that's the funny part, is that, like, when you're 20, when you're, like, younger 20s, you think that, like, you're so old at, like, 28. And it's like, yeah, I'm older, but, bro, we're still mad childish. Like, you know, it's just some people don't mature as much as others. And that's just the reality of it. Like, and don't let you be 28 with no kids. You really childish. Like, and you can be. So, going into my 30s is like, all right, like, at least I just want to have my foundation together. At least have my degree, have my career, like I said. Have a decent living, stable, decent living area situation, and keep my car. You know, like, I've jumped around so many places in my 20s, like, and that's why I really want something stable for my 30s, because, like, my whole 20s, I've lived in so many different places. I got so many different apartments. I lived so many lives in these 20s. I am tired, y'all. I'm tired. I've been so many people. I joined the army, went to college, lived in so many different states, like, became a mom, like, got, like, was engaged. Like, it's just a lot. Went through, like, how many relationships? Like, 3? Like, it's a lot. I lived a lot of lives. I lived so many lives. And I still have 2 more years of these 20s to go. But I'm just not spending the last 2 years just being mixy and shit. Like, I lived in the mix, y'all. I lived in the mix, and I'm tired now. Like, I really, not like tired, like old lady tired. Like, it's still in me. Child, them child-free nights be. You don't know how to party like a single mama, child. On a kid-free night, we gets down. We don't play. So, like, it gets like that. But I just don't, I don't want to waste my last 2 years, like, not at least, like, while I'm still young enough to do it. Like, I still have um, I still have that juice. Like, I still have the, pizzazz to get up and, energy. It's declining. I can feel it going. Especially after that childbirth, child. I can't even move. I literally, before I had my daughter, I was a professional dancer. Can't even move the same no more. Don't even think I could split anymore. I haven't tried, and God knows how long. Probably tear something. I'll probably tear something. So yeah, like, I really just want to go into that new chapter just a little bit more stable. I wasn't stable in my 20s. I was outside. Like, I was doing me. If I ain't feel like doing it, I wasn't doing it. If I ain't feel like going to work, fuck that. Oh, excuse my language, but bump that. And that's just what it was. So I'm just trying to go into that a little bit more stable, like I said, and then just have fun. I want to travel. Do I? I want to travel. I want to see some things now. And God's plan, because honestly, everything happens for a reason, and it's probably a reason why I wasn't that outside of my 20s. Like, maybe the Lord just didn't think that I was mature enough to be, in somebody's Mexico with no kids, and nothing to live for. Because, yeah, it gets like that over here. So, yeah. I'm like, all right, well, I am going into this new chapter with just better decisions and just moving gracefully, changing my circles, realizing I'm better than a lot of things, better than even a lot of people, to be honest. And life around me is changing for real. Like, people, things, and it is what it is. Like, kind of just gotta take things with a grain of salt and do what's best for you. As long as you do what we all know what's best for us. We don't want to do what's best for us sometimes, because that means cutting people off. Not cutting people, y'all. Don't be crazy. But cutting people. Separating ourselves for the betterment of ourselves. Yeah, we just don't want to do it sometimes. And like, exactly what to do. Like, I always know exactly what I'm supposed to do to get to the next level. It's just, I don't want to. Sometimes I genuinely, you guys, I don't want to. I don't want to let go of the relationship. I don't want to let go of the companionship. I don't want to let go of my friends. I feel like I can change them. I'm changing. Can't change anyone. You can't change anyone.